Israel's biggest defenders, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, had some tough words on the Senate floor today for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, identifying him as an obstacle to peace.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has lost his way by allowing his political survival to take the precedence over the best interests of Israel. He has been too willing to tolerate the civilian toll in Gaza, which is pushing support for Israel worldwide to historic lows.
But Schumer went even further, calling for an end to the Netanyahu era by urging Israelis to replace him as soon as possible.
I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel, at a time when so many Israelis have lost their confidence in the vision and direction of their government. I also believe a majority of the Israeli public will recognize the need for change, and I believe that holding a new election, once the war starts to wind down, would give Israelis an opportunity to express their vision for the post-war future.
Now, this could be the very first time in U.S. history that our leadership called for new leadership in a country we consider to be one of our strongest allies. Schumer's counterpart in the Senate and fellow supporter of Israel, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, blasted Schumer, although not by name.
It is grotesque and hypocritical for Americans who hyperventilate about foreign interference in our own democracy to call for the removal of a democratically elected leader of Israel. This is unprecedented. We should not treat fellow democracies this way at all.
Now, keep in mind, Israel's electoral system is different than ours, right? Elections can be called at any time by a majority of the Knesset, basically their Congress, or an edict from the president. I think you can be both a staunch supporter of Israel and believe that Netanyahu is horrible for Israel. And you can say it. But joining me now, someone who may disagree. Thane Rosenbaum, distinguished university professor at Touro University, a columnist for the Jewish Journal of Los Angeles, a staunch defender of Israel himself. You think this is really bad, what Schumer did?
Dan, it's awful.
Why? What?
Dan, look, if you know Netanyahu would have preferred Trump to Biden, and he could have made a direct appeal to the American people. If you want stability in the Middle East, vote for Trump. People would go nuts in the United States. Democrats would go, what? You're trying to tell us who to vote for? You're our ally. This is a democracy. Thank you very much. You don't have a vote.
But the difference is we give them arms. We give them money. They don't give us money and arms. And as a result, we can dictate things more than they can.
Dan, let me just get to that, because that comes up a lot. Let's just be clear. It is true that they get $3 billion in money for the purposes of aid, for the purposes of defense. But the money is requested, it's earmarked to spend it on American military contractors. So it's really a subsidy for Americans.
Oh, come on, yeah, but it's still, come on, they're still getting arms, they're getting goods,
But Egypt gets the same amount of money, and we don't even condition where they put the money. At least with Israel, we're saying spend it here.
Yeah, we try and pressure Egypt with regard to various, anti-terrorism maneuvers, with regard to the border, et cetera. So it just seems to me the fact that Schumer said out loud what a lot of people both here and in Israel think. And all he said, and let me be clear, and this is Schumer's response, which I think is a little bit of cover that he did after the fact, but he said the U.S. cannot dictate the outcome of an election. That is for the Israeli public to decide. As a democracy, Israel has the right to choose its own leaders, but the important thing is that Israelis are given a choice. There needs to be a fresh debate about the future. Now, he's softening the language there after the fact. But let's go back to what his original comment was, right? That he thinks that Israel ought to have a new election now. Again, I don't see that. The reaction that many are saying is, oh, he's abandoning Israel. This is not the time to do that. Is it really that big a deal?
The Israelis don't think they should have an election now. 65% of Israelis believe that Netanyahu's war strategy is correct. It is correct that very few of them would vote for him again.
Right.
Whenever that election will be.
Right.
And it is a democracy. It's not like Netanyahu's planning to overstay his welcome. Israel is a real democracy, and I have no doubt that Netanyahu will lose the next election. But right now, Israel is at war, and the majority of Israelis believe in this war strategy. Even the Peace Now movement in Israel is shattered Israelis just have had enough of this. After October 7th, they want Hamas finished. So for them, this is not the time to switch military.
But even if they were to get a replacement for Netanyahu, that person would also be going after Hamas.
I'm sure that's true.
Yeah,
right.
Thane Rosenbaum, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNationNow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.